Hi folks, it's a good time to be a Marvel fan. We're being treated to more content than ever before, and we don't want it any other way. Recently, Marvel revealed the first clip from the much-awaited She-Hulk Attorney at Law, and if it's any indication of the show, fans should be very, very excited. In today's video, we're talking about the clip, so sit back, relax, and let's get started. First up, Jennifer Walters trains with Bruce Banner. Do you know what's better than one Hulk? Two Hulks. Now we've got the first glimpse into their relationship, and let's just say it's better than we expected, and we had high expectations. We see Bruce, played by everyone's favorite Mark Ruffalo, of course, wake up his cousin with an air horn, and she's obviously super annoyed with that. He tells her he's trying to see what kind of control or lack thereof she has over her Hulk alter ego, but you know he's also doing it because it's just funny. Then the two start their training, where Bruce teaches Jen how to be Hulk, or in the words of Tatiana Maslany, mansplain to her how to be a Hulk. As it turns out, she's already a pro at it. He tells her that being the green superhero asks for balance. While he barely manages to stand on his hands, we can see Jennifer do all kinds of things upside down. Then he angrily punches the ground and does some damage to it, but when his cousin does the same, the world shakes. Not literally, but you get her point. He also throws a big rock, and she manages to outthrow him. Oh, and did we mention that she looks absolutely stunning while doing it? And dare we say, she's even better than the Hulk himself. Now, obviously, Bruce isn't super okay with that. We love us some harmless sibling rivalry. He pushes her off the cliff, but guess what? She jumps right back up. How cool is that? She mentions that she's clearly nailing all these things, but when is she ever going to use these as a lawyer? And you know what? She's got a point. But Bruce has got one too. He tells her that with great power comes great responsibility. Not exactly those words, but something along the lines of it, and she's not super happy about it. Then he tells her that he's only been talking about the downsides of being Hulk. There were some upsides too. Guess what? They can drink all the alcohol they want without blacking out. All buzz, no barf. Now that's a superpower we'd like to have. As expected, Jen is also very pleased with that. Moving on, She-Hulk thinks Steve Rogers is a virgin. We bet that's not something you ever thought you'd hear, right? In this clip, we see Bruce and Jen driving in her car as she explains to him why she believes that Captain America is a virgin. And we can't believe we're saying this, but several points were made. Now, it's not the first time we're hearing about this. For some reason, the subject of Steve's sex life has been widely discussed, and fans have so many theories about it. But what does Jennifer Walters think? Well, she starts by talking about how Cap did not have a girlfriend before he became Cap. Once he became Captain America, he's immediately the symbol of America. He's rushed to the front lines, he's a war hero, and before you know it, he's frozen in ice. Did he have time for other things? Then, based on everything we know, once he's unfrozen, he goes from world-threatening disaster to world-threatening disaster, and that's only when he's not on the run from the law. Really, how busy was this guy? Of course, Jen points it out too, but before Bruce can comment on it, an alien spaceship attacks them, and the car is swerving pretty badly by the side of the road. Both go tumbling down inside the vehicle. It's how Jen eventually becomes Hulk after Bruce gives her a blood transfusion. Yikes. What happened to just a spider bite that you don't even notice? Now, what does this mean for her? Nobody wants to become an angry green superhero overnight, but despite Jen's resistance, she's pretty darn good at it. After she accepts her new identity, her law firm assigns her to head a new superhuman law division where she represents various MCU characters, including Abomination and Wong. Now, doesn't that sound absolutely fantastic? Also, one of the coolest things about the new show is that She-Hulk can break the fourth wall. Think Deadpool meets Legally Blonde meets Ally McBeal. We have to admit, it sounds phenomenal, and we can't wait to see how this turns out. And we don't know about you guys, but Tatiana Maslany on our screens, we'd see it all day. Finally, what did the cast and crew think? Maslany said She-Hulk was a comedy like we'd never seen before. She said that her character's struggle was very different from Bruce's, as it was so much more internalized. She said it was about her wrestling with her identity and coming to terms with how people treated her differently when she was a Hulk. Kevin Feige, the MCU boss, stated that the best part of the show was all the Marvel characters that came to her for advice. And that sounds very, very thrilling. We're keeping our fingers crossed for as many cameos as possible. One of the executive producers, Wendy Jacobson, said that the show pushed boundaries that nobody on TV had before. Anu Valia, a director on the show, said she was super impressed with Maslany's performance. She said that she was always very aware of her character, and it showed in her every move. And we're not surprised. Her acting should be taught in schools. Also, the show has many women in front of the camera and behind the scenes, so the show has a female gaze to it. Jessica Gao, the co-creator, said that all these women brought different life experiences and perspectives of femaleness into the show, which was previously missing from this genre, and also the MCU. And that sounds great. We've also been told She-Hulk is more grounded in reality than most MCU stories, and the audiences will get to see more of the life of a superhero behind all the action and drama. Looks like the MCU is finally answering our call. calls. Gao said that you could be saving the world one night, but you still have to do laundry or pay the mortgage or call your mom. And that's what the show is going to give us. It looks like there's a great team behind She-Hulk, and we're counting the days till it comes out. It sounds pretty incredible. We might even forgive Marvel for that outrageous CGI. Now, let's move on to some other related news. First up, Tatiana Maslany is married. Big things are happening for the orphan black star. Not only is she leading the most anticipated show on TV right now, but she also just announced that she got married to her partner Brendan Hines. On 11th August, she announced on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert that the couple had a very small, private, and chilled reception. They'd been together for almost 2 years, and Tatiana said that they wanted to keep their marriage private, but Colbert was the right person to tell. She talked about her wedding day and said it all went well, except for one small part. Earl, their dog, who was the ring bearer, lost the rings in the middle of a field during their first looks, but eventually they found them in the field filled with sheep. Doesn't that sound absolutely lovely? We couldn't be happier for the married couple. Up next, Mark Ruffalo defends Marvel. Turns out, Ruffalo would go to war for the MCU behind the scenes as well. Damon Lindelof, the creator of Lost and The Leftovers, recently said that he would like to see fewer Marvel TV shows and movies so that each that comes out feels more special, but the Hulk actor isn't too concerned. He said that Marvel allows directors and actors to bring their own style and likeness, so you get a whole different feeling with each project. Then he shaded Star Wars and said that with those movies, you were always getting the same version of the story with the same humor set in the same world. He said that the MCU was different. We don't know if we'd agree with that, Mark. And lastly, was there trouble in paradise? In a recent press conference, Jessica Gao mentioned that she and Kevin were sniping at each other over what they thought should be in the first trailer for She-Hulk. She said they fought for weeks over what should go in the trailer and what shouldn't. And now the trailer turned out great, but she didn't reveal who won. But considering the MCU's history, we can take a pretty good guess. Also, maybe both of them had their say because we've got 2 trailers for the show now, and both are wildly different. And that's a wrap for this video. What do you guys think about the first She-Hulk clip released by Marvel? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.